So what I did was I took a 25-cent piece of maple. Looking good? Just a 25-cent piece of maple. If you've ever heard me do demos on pens, I talk for hours on it. I didn't even worry about getting it down to the bushings. I don't really care. This is just something I'm showing you for a demo. The beauty of doing any kind of finishing technique on a pen is if you don't cut it all the way down to the bushing, you can practice. So I've done probably 5 demos on this one 25-cent piece of wood, because I'll just cut it down round and I'll practice my finish, then I'll cut that finish off, and then I'll practice my finish, then I'll cut that finish off, and I'll practice my finish. You know what the only problem with that technique is? Inevitably, at some point, the 4th one from the end was your best finish, and then when you did get it down to the bushing, you don't get what you had. We're not going to do any turning. All right, so this is a new product. If anybody wants brochures on it, I'll pass them around. Take them. I've got tons more. Take them if you want them. Don't take them if you don't. It's Glue Boost. And this is a liquid finish in a bottle. And it's... Take pictures of it there. So I don't know if anybody's ever on exoticblanks.com. Ed Brown does it. He's selling this now. It's a great. I love this finish for any kind of wood turning. So I've typically done.
You said exoticblanks.com.
Exoticblanks.com. So I've sanded this down to 400 grit. Now, who's done a CA finish on a pen? All right. I think most people, what you wind up doing now is you turn the lathe on, you put a couple drops on your paper towel, and you rub it across, right? Is that how everybody does it? Pretty close. Problem that I have with that is, so for me it was always an ordeal doing a super glue finish. I would wind up doing 9 coats of super glue on it. I would do 3 one night, then I would let it dry, 3 coats of thin the next night, let it dry. I'd steel wool in between. I don't have to do this with this finish. So this finish, it's not new. It's a finish that was used, or it's currently used in high-end musical instrument repair. So if you go on their website, it's you'll see they destroy a guitar, and then they actually used Glue Boost to fix the guitar finish on there. So guitars, violins, any of that kind of stuff. It's a liquid finish in a bottle. So if you look at the even on the label, they don't market it as CA. It is marketed as liquid finish in a bottle. And so the nice part that I find on here, it's got the perfect viscosity so that I can put it on with my hand, just simply by rotating it and doing it with the grain. Oh wait, sorry. I want to do the other one first. So there's four different viscosities. This one is a fill and finish. The other one is a thin. So this one you can see is probably just a little bit thicker. I normally don't use accelerator. In this case, I will use the Glue Boost accelerator.
So they should use a CA.
Acts like it. Acts like it. It's just a little bit. So the thing about it is the manufacturer guarantees if you read the document that you're not going to get the white dots. I don't know if you've ever had white dots on your thing. It's because it's so what's it called? Surface. Not surface friendly. There's a word for it, and I forgot what the word is. But it's the way that it does it. There's more the chemical composition of it, so that you look at it, it's not going to get crazy. I typically don't ever use accelerator because I find that the accelerator yellows. I find that the accelerator makes it a little bit more brittle, so especially when you're pressing in, you'll see these little cracks on here. I don't have that problem with this product. I've done this now for about 3 or 4 months. I've been using this product, so I've done it probably on 50 pens, and I just love the way this works. So I'll put another one on here. I usually do 2 of the blue. So you can see it's already shining up.
How's the price range on this?
It's a little bit more, clearly it is more expensive than super glue. But I'll show you in a second the cool part.
Was that a second coat of that filler that you used first?
Yeah, I did 2 of the blue and then I'll do 2 of the orange. It's completely perfectly dry. I'm just going to denib it a little bit. Now I'll use the orange, which is the thin.
It seems to be even faster than super glue.
Oh, it's waif. So there it is with the thin. I'm not going to bother with the accelerator on the thin.
Without the accelerator, what's about the drying time?
What do you mean it's dry ready?
So it's not fast without it. Don't leave the cap off.
So we'll take that. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it already? And I'm not even done sanding it, but it's significantly glossier. So I'll just denib it. Done. I'm going to micro mesh it starting at 4,000. So I'll turn it on ever so slowly.
So that was 4,000?
Yep, starting at 4,000.
You don't wet it?
Nope. If this was at home, I would stop it and do every other one, going with the grain versus against the grain. But I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it on the camera? Can you guys see the color on the camera? Oh, darn it.
The screen really changes. The lens I have is quite different than the high def.
All right, so I will ask Hector, could you please come up and verify for me? What
That's
does it look
good.
like?
Oh, that's terrible.
Is it?
Very nice.
So I've done it in 2 coats. I'm done. Sorry, 4 coats, 2 of each. But the cool thing about, come on out, take a look. Please, this is the time you want to do it.
I'm good.
So bashful.
You can actually tint this stuff. So we'll change the color. So in this case, I've got all these different tints. I've been playing with amber, so we use amber.
So these are from the same company?
Yep.
Tints?
Yep.
Are they water?
I'm sorry? The tints are powder.
Powder?
It's powder based.
Powder.
Powder.
Is he mixing it?
I'm going to mix it right now. I'm going to be really nice because it's not my lathe, and I'm going to... So can you see it on the camera that it's powder?
What do you mix it with?
I'm going to mix it into the orange,
Right into the glue.
right into the glue.
Oh.
So here's the deal. Don't try to use mica pearl, because I tried to tint it with mica pearl. It doesn't work. This is a special one that's made for doing this. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm simply going to take the orange. So I put a decent amount out there. I'm going to take the color that I want to tint it with. In this case, I'm going to do orange.
So what happened when you tried the micro pearl?
I made a glop of mud.
Okay. Good old blob of mud.
In that form, does it have a fairly longer period to dry?
Yeah,
Work quickly?
you have to work quickly on it. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm simply gonna take it. Work the ends.
That's the thin or the medium you use?
The
The,
glue,
yeah.
it's the thin. The cool part about it is it's not a stain, so it's just happening on the surface. I'm tinting the glue, so if I didn't like it, I could redo it. I could sand it right off. So let's let it sit on there a second. Let's finish it off.
Yeah, because I'll figure it out from the bowl, right? I was just curious, is this feasible for a bowl?
Yes.
A
So-
20-inch bowl?
So a friend of mine did it.
What's the cost for it?
I don't know the math on it, but I know a friend of mine did it from Chicago Woodturners, and he's tried it on bowls, and it's worked. You know what the other thing about it is?
No, I don't.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
Maybe you can tell me.
Not only can, and I haven't experimented with this, but I've got the kit to do it. You can actually, because it's a surface finish, right? You can actually use, they've got special tape that you could put like a block pattern on here, so I could tape little seams in here, and then I could put the super glue over it, and it's the same kind of tape that you use for doing cars and masking off cars and pinstriping. And then when you pull the tape off, you get the wood underneath and then the color on it. You could do a whole block segment on here.
Is that an acid-based finish?
Well, it's CA type finish. I don't know the.
Yeah, it's an acid.
I'm an electrical engineer. I design computers. I don't.
I pick cotton.
Now, do you put another coat of that color?
So now I can put as many coats on there as I want. I can mix the colors.
The one that you put on there, the color, do you put another coat of that, or
Could I? Yeah, if I wanted to. Yeah.
does it make it darker?
Yeah, it does. I like to keep the chatoyancy. I want to be able to get that. I want to get the color to shine through on it. So now what I'll do is I'll throw a couple more coats of the, because I just knocked it down, I'm going to do 1 or 2 more coats of the orange on here. Sorry, of the orange color, the thin, clear. Let's just let it dry a second. We can spray it if you want. I don't want to get the camera.
Thanks.
Last coat, just for kicks. Obviously, if I'm at home, I'm going to catch the corners. I'm going to spend a little bit more time on it. But I want to be respectful of the time. We'll start at 8,000 again. And I'm just going to finish it off. Although I kind of like the look of it now. Sorry, I'm starting at 4,000.
Mark, will these colors blend together also?
Yes. Yeah, I've tried that. Kind of gives you a nice smoke. 6.
Do you have any idea how many different shades they have?
They got the primary colors on one, and then the cool part about it is also there's also a black and a white. So if you want to use it as an ebonizing, to do ebonizing on there.
There goes the budget again.
If you want to do it to ebonize, So there's the finish on it. This one probably,
Hand it to her.
I would probably do 1 or 2 more coats of the thin on there just to really gloss it up.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Now with the color, just to shine it up, right?
Yeah. And you guys already seen this one, but that just goes, I mean, what did I spend? 10 minutes on it? And this is the other one that I passed around earlier. So I think it's got a great, super shiny finish on it. If I put 1 or 2 more coats on it compared to, I'll throw that one around. That one had 2 more coats on it. But, as I said, if you read if anybody wants another one of the brochures that have on it, no crazing, no yellowing, no white dots on it, and it's a simple finish. I like the fact that it's a lot less dangerous than when I put it on with my finger and the lathe is spinning. I'm putting it on with the lathe off, all completely against the grain. Oh, the other thing there is one other difference. The other difference is the one that I did earlier will go on a Beal buffing system, so I will push it through a Beal buffing system, but I push all my pens through a Beal buffing system.
The durability about the same.
Super glue.
It's,
As far as
I don't want to say it doesn't. It is a form of a super glue, but the parts that I like about it is obviously the viscosity. If I would have taken super glue and had that much open time, I wouldn't have been able to get it on my paper towel and rub it across. I wouldn't have been able to color it. I mean, if you've ever taken thin super glue, I mean, it's setting up almost immediately. So the viscosity is kind of nice. The fact that it accepts a dye, a pigmented dye that went into it. The fact that I can put it on with my hand and go across it. I denibbed it, for all of 8 seconds with the 4-aught steel wool, and I was done with the whole thing. So, yeah, as I said, I don't know that you can get it through the manufacturer, but I know that you can get it through, I know Ed Brown, and I think he was running a deal on it last week. So it's called Glue Boost, and if anybody else wants information on it, I got it sitting back here. So you know what? I've gone over my hour, which I always do. But before we get to it, be honest with me. I tried to teach you guys talk. I didn't even teach. I just facilitated a conversation, right? I learned as much about some things that I didn't know when I came out here. So the whole thing was to take me out of my comfort zone. I can talk about pens throwing glue in the face. I did 4 things that I'm really not comfortable with. What's the goal? The goal is to get people in here to go out and try things and just see what you can do and play with it. And to me, it's just as valuable when you share mistakes, because then that way I know I wasn't the only one making these mistakes when I was doing it. So if I made any other mistakes, feel free to let me know. Go ahead.
You said that stuff was a form of super glue.
Yes, it is.
And I think that super glue is isocyanic acid. What part of that finish makes it a super glue?
You know what, I'll be honest with you, you have to go on their website and go on the fact page and they'll explain it to you. It's got something to do with the chemical, the way that the chemicals were put together and the polymerization of it. And it's got to do with the fact that, I forgot what it's called, it's super insensitive, surface insensitive or environmentally insensitive, which means that the polymerization takes a longer amount of time and there's more acid in it to get it to do. I don't know that any super glue is food safe. How expensive is it? It's more expensive than normal super glue, but it's not that outrageous.
Did you buy that as a kit?
So you get it as a kit. So there's 2 different things that you can get. The coloring system. Oh, it's all.
Yeah, we sent the box around.
Okay, no problem. If you go for the coloring system, this is its own kit. And as I said, this is the vintage colors. So this is yellow, brown, and amber. It comes with the plate that I showed you with. It comes with the mixing sticks that are in there. They also got one that's red, green, and blue. So then basically you mix all your colors out of it. And then there's another one called Modern, and it's just blacks and whites. So if you want to ebonize, you can do you can do an ebonizing look to your piece on that one that way. So this is its own little thing. And then there's 4 different sets of the glues. Does anybody else? Anybody else want a brochure that didn't have one? Alright. There's 4 different sets of colors on here in terms of the thicknesses. I tell you, you don't need them all. I wind up using the blue as my base finish, which is the fill and finish thin, and then the fill and finish orange is the top coat on it, is the thin, and that's the only ones I need. I don't use, there's a red one and a purple one that's on there. I don't use it. But there's also a masking system if you want to do the taping and do the brickwork. I'm planning on trying to do that. I was going to do it on a rim on a platter and try to mask it off. I'm also going to do it on a pen and see that I can't get a cool segmented look by just doing it and then put my coloring over it and try to get that bricks of illusion type look on there. So under complete transparency, as I said, I've only been using it about 4 months. I've used it on exotic woods and I haven't had a problem with it. I've used it on domestic woods, marble wood, all those other woods. I just like the way it comes out. For me, it's a heck of. For me, it's just simply a heck of a lot easier than the way that I used to do it with super.